Please, welcome back. Let's try continue. I uploading some Danish video. The sun is shining and it's very hot in my living room. 30 degrees again. Been like that the whole month, so I'm really tired of that. But it's 4 p.m. Let's try to continue this PDF, and I don't understand much of this because I don't have a university degree in computer engineering or computer science. I did change the water. That's my underwear and t-shirts. So in 1 hour I will empty the water, and then I will put fresh water 2 times. Then I will try to get some water out. I will put some fresh water into that 2 times to get this washing powder. Try to get the washing powder out, but you never get this washing powder, you never get out full when you do it like this. Then I will put it up here and keep it on the bathroom like the next 3-4 days. I've been in shower today and shaving, so next time I need a shower, I will in 3 or 4 days I will take this out and put it outside here somewhere or in my living room, because it will take like 5 days. It takes like 5 days to dry. It really takes many days to dry, so the first 2 days you need to have it on the bathroom so the water not dripping on the floor. You need to be there on the bathroom 2-3 days so the water is finished dripping. Then you can take it out when you need a shower. Yes, but I look forward. I've been looking forward to read about all these memories. I have so many empty bottles now. Let's make a bag of bottles, because this space I use for, I have 4 bottles I use for my lemonades. So, and they're not supposed to be here. So let's make a bag. I need to sell it. I will get my pension tomorrow, Wednesday. I will get my Danish pension, but I have to wait to Thursday, the day after, to pay my bills. So I just have to go to my online banking tomorrow to see if I'm getting the right number of money. Yes, we can even make a plastic bag more. Yes. Good. Let's get this away from my kitchen. And put it out here. Good. Let's try and finish this difficult PDF. I don't understand so much because I don't have a university degree. I don't have a university degree in computer science or computer engineering, but I like to read it, so let's try to do it. That's maybe not, we don't have enough power But then I have to adjust my camcorder. Good, I need half a minute to go to my bed. And I have to check my cell phone. And I need more to drink. Yes, let's try continue.
DRAM ICs, those with capacities of 1 bit, of which the first was the Intel 1103, used a 3-transistor 1 capacitor, 3T1C, DRAM cell. By the second generation, the requirement to increase density by fitting more bits in a given area, or the requirement to reduce cost by fitting the same amount of bits in a smaller area, lead to the almost universal adoption of the 1T1C DRAM cell, although a couple of devices with 4 and 16-bit capacities continued to use the 3T1C cell for performance reasons. Kenner, P6. These performance advantages included, most significantly, the ability to read state stored by the capacitor without discharging it, avoiding the need to write back what was read out, non-destructive read. A second performance advantage relates to the 3T1C cell has separate transistors for reading and writing. The memory controller can exploit this feature to perform atomic read modify writes, where a value is read, modified, and then written back as a single, indivisible operation. Jacob. P. 459. Proposed cell designs. The 1-transistor, 0-capacitor, 1T, DRAM cell has been a topic of research since the late 1990s. 1T DRAM is a different way of constructing the basic DRAM memory cell, distinct from the classic 1-transistor /1 capacitor, 1T/1C, DRAM cell, which is also sometimes referred to as 1T DRAM, particularly in comparison to the 3T and 4T DRAM which it replaced in the 1970s. In 1T DRAM cells, the bit of data is still stored in a capacitive region controlled by a transistor, but this capacitance is no longer provided by a separate capacitor. 1T DRAM is a capacitorless bit cell design that stores data using the parasitic body capacitance that is inherent to silicon on insulator, SOI, transistors. Considered a nuisance in logic design, this floating body effect can be used for data storage. This gives 1T DRAM cells the greatest density as well as allowing easier integration with high-performance logic circuits since they are constructed with the same SOI process technologies. Refreshing of cells remains necessary, but unlike with 1T1C DRAM, reads in 1T DRAM are non-destructive. The stored charge causes a detectable shift in the threshold voltage of the transistor. 35. Performance-wise, access times are significantly better than capacitor-based DRAMs, but slightly worse than SRAM. There are several types of 1T DRAMs, the commercialized ZRAM from Innovative Silicon, the TRAM, 36, from Renesas and the ARAM from the UGR/CNRS consortium. Array structures. Self-aligned storage node location simplify the fabrication process in modern DRAM. 37. DRAM cells are laid out in a regular rectangular, grid-like pattern to facilitate their control and access via word lines and byte lines. The physical layout of the DRAM cells in an array is typically designed so that two adjacent DRAM cells in a column share a single byte line contact to reduce their area. DRAM cell area is given as NF2 where N is a number derived from the DRAM cell design, and F is the smallest feature size of a given process technology. This scheme permits comparison of DRAM size over different process technology generations, as DRAM cell area scales at linear or near-linear rates with respect to feature size. The typical area for modern DRAM cells varies between 6-8F2. The horizontal wire, the word LIN, is connected to the gate terminal of every access transistor in its row. The vertical byte line is connected to the source terminal of the transistors in its column. The lengths of the word lines and byte lines are limited. Few word line length is limited by the desired performance of the array, since propagation time of the signal that must traverse the word line is determined by the RC time constant. The byte line length is limited by its capacitance, which increases with length, which must be kept within a range for proper sensing, as DRAMs operate by sensing the charge of the capacitor released onto the byte line. Byte line length is also limited by the amount of operating current DRAM can draw and by how power can be dissipated, since these two characteristics are largely determined by the charging and discharging of the byte line. Byte line architecture. Sense amplifiers are required to read the state contained in the DRAM cells. When the access transistor is activated, the electrical charge in the capacitor is shared with the byte line. The byte line's capacitance is much greater than that of the capacitor, approximately 10 times. Thus, the change in byte line voltage is minute. Sense amplifiers are required to resolve the voltage differential into the levels specified by the logic signaling system. Modern DRAMs use differential sense amplifiers, and are accompanied by requirements as to how the DRAM arrays are constructed. Differential sense amplifiers work by driving the outputs to opposing extremes based on the relative voltages on pairs of byte lines. The sense amplifiers function effectively and efficient only if the capacitance and voltages of these byte line pairs are closely matched. Besides ensuring that lengths of the byte lines and the number of attached DRAM cells attached to them are equal, two basic architectures to array design have emerged to provide for the requirements of the sense amplifiers: open and folded byte line arrays. Open byte line arrays. The first generation, 1-bit, DRAM ICs, up until the 64-bit generation, and some 256-bit generation devices, had open byte line array architectures. In these architectures, the byte lines are divided into multiple segments, and the differential sense amplifiers are placed in between byte line segments. Because the sense amplifiers are placed between byte line segments, to route other outputs outside the array, an additional layer of interconnect placed above those used to construct the word lines and bit lines is required. The DRAM cells that are on the edges of the array do not have adjacent segments. Since the differential sense amplifiers require identical capacitance and byte line lengths from both segments, dummy byte line segments are provided. The advantage of the open byte line array is a smaller array area, although this advantage is slightly diminished by the dummy byte line segments. The disadvantage that caused the near disappearance of this architecture is the inherent vulnerability to noise, which affects the effectiveness of the differential sense amplifiers. Since each byte line segment does not have any spatial relationship to the other, it is likely that noise would affect only one of the two byte line segments. Folded byte line arrays. The folded byte line array architecture routes byte lines in pairs throughout the array. The close proximity of the paired byte lines provides superior common mode noise rejection characteristics over open byte line arrays. The folded byte line array architecture began appearing in DRAM ICs.
Yes, I take a break again because I think I will make a video in English. I have some video called Personal Computer History Museum, and I've got two more computers there, and we have a good light in my living room. So I will read it. I will charge the camcorder make this English video, I would put my camcorder back to the charger.